Based on this article, The Intelligence Age, it's not just about having cool gadgets, it's about how AI is becoming, well, actually intelligent. This isn't sci-fi anymore, folks.
It lays out a really compelling argument for why this time is different, why all those AI predictions that have been floating around for decades might actually be coming true, like now.
Okay, so let's break it down. The article keeps mentioning this idea of society as intelligence. What's that all about?
Basically, the idea is that human progress, knowledge, technology, all that, it's not just a straight line, it builds on itself, right?
Sure, like each generation kind of picks up where the last one left off.
And this article argues that AI, particularly this thing called deep learning, has the potential to supercharge that whole process in ways we can barely even comprehend.
Okay, so two things there, deep learning and how it changes everything. First, deep learning. What is it? Why is it different from like the AI we already have?
Right. So imagine you're trying to teach a computer to bake a cake, right? Traditional AI is like giving it a very specific recipe. It can follow the steps perfectly, but
But it doesn't understand what it's doing. It doesn't know why those ingredients make a cake.
you got it. Deep learning is different. It's like giving the computer a ton of recipes, a whole cookbook, plus letting it watch videos of people baking, explaining their techniques, you name it.
So it's not just following instructions, it's actually like picking up on the underlying patterns, the rules of baking, so to speak.
And the more data you feed it, in this case, more recipes, more baking knowledge, the better it gets at understanding those rules, those deeper connections. That's where the learning part comes in.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. So it's not just programmed intelligence, it's intelligence that actually learns and adapts. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
But how does this change, well, everything?
Well, think about it. If AI can actually learn and adapt like that, it's not just about automating tasks anymore. It's about having a partner, in a sense, that can process information, analyze data, and even come up with creative solutions in ways that our human brains just aren't wired to.
So it's not just about making things faster, it's about doing things we couldn't even imagine before.
And that's where this whole intelligence age thing really takes off. It's like if we're entering an era where intelligence itself is being amplified in this unprecedented way, what does that mean for us? How does that change the game?
That's a really good question. This article does dive into some pretty specific examples of what this could look like, how this intelligence age could play out in our everyday lives.
Imagine a world where instead of struggling through a textbook or, getting lost in a Wikipedia rabbit hole, you have instant access to a personalized AI tutor for any subject you can think of.
Okay, that does sound pretty handy. No more trying to decipher dense academic jargon or waiting for office hours to ask a question.
Need to brush up on your ancient Greek philosophy? Bam, AI tutor. Want to learn how to code the next viral app? AI tutors got you covered.
It's like having a once-renowned expert on call 24/7, ready to explain anything you need in a way that actually makes sense to you.
And it's not just about education either. The article talks about how this kind of personalized AI could revolutionize healthcare too. Imagine having an AI that analyzes your medical history, your genetics, your lifestyle, everything, to create a preventative care plan tailored specifically to you.
Whoa, hold on, back up a second. That sounds amazing, but is that even realistic? I mean, that's like next level personalized medicine.
I know, right? Remember, we used to think self-driving cars were a fantasy, and now look at where we are.
That's a good point, I guess. It's easy to get stuck in our current way of thinking and forget how quickly things can change. The article does mention some potential downsides to all this, too.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's important that we talk about those too, right? Well, one of the big ones, of course, is job displacement. If AI can learn to do more and more of the tasks that humans currently do, it's natural to worry about what that means for the job market.
It's something we hear about a lot with automation in general, but this feels different somehow, bigger.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of the anxiety comes from, because this isn't just about robots replacing factory workers anymore. We're talking about AI potentially disrupting entire industries, from transportation to law to medicine.
So what do we do about that? I mean, we can't just like stop technological progress,
Yeah.
right? And even if we could, should we?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the article doesn't shy away from that. It actually dedicates a whole section to talking about the importance of things like education reform, workforce retraining, and even rethinking our whole approach to work in the age of AI.
So it's not just about building smarter machines, it's about building a smarter society that can adapt to these changes and hopefully thrive alongside them.
And that's where that whole society as intelligence concept comes back into play. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about finding ways to leverage this combined intelligence, human and artificial, to create a better future for everyone.
I like the sound of that. But, and maybe this is getting a little too philosophical, it does make you wonder if we're entering an era where intelligence is becoming this, like, amplified force in the world, what does that even mean to be human?
What does it even mean to be human in a world where machines are becoming increasingly intelligent, even conscious?
For centuries, we've been the smart species, the ones who invent, who create, who dream. If AI gets to the point where it's making discoveries, solving problems, creating things that we as humans can't even wrap our minds around, what does that say about us?
It's like we're at the beginning of a new chapter, and the way we write this chapter is up to us.